Welcome. We are a mother-daughter podcast about all things surrogacy. Together, we have brought 8 beautiful babies into this world, and we would like to share through education and knowledge about surrogacy with those who want to educate themselves on the topic. This is Stop.Sit.Surrogate. Hey everyone, if you ever thought about becoming a surrogate, I want to share something with you. Stop.Sit.Surrogate is now a matching and referral agency that helps guide you through the very first steps of your journey. We'll walk with you until you're matched and connected with a trusted agency that supports you all the way through. It's such a meaningful process, and knowing you're not alone makes a huge difference. So if you're curious about surrogacy or ready to take that first step, check us out at Stop.Sit.Surrogate.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Stop.Sit.Surrogate with Kennedy and Ellen.
Hey.
We have a very special, very, very special guest today. So I will let you introduce him, Mom.
Oh, we are so honored to have Terry from North Carolina, which is one of the triplets, one of their dads.
Yes.
So these are the 3 triplets I had almost 20 years ago. This is their dad, Terry. Say hi, Terry.
Hi, how are you?
We are all good. We've been catching up
Yes.
before we started the recording. So it's been a long time since we've actually talked and sat and seen each other. So
I know. Other than
Lots
Facebook.
happened. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Other than Facebook.
Oh my God.
So this is my age. Got to put those readers on. Darn it. Okay. I think we're gonna jump right in.
Okay.
So I know it was a while ago, Terry, but how did you guys find out about surrogacy? Did it just jump out at you, or?
It's an interesting story, actually. And I think that it's a story that is worth telling because it was like a miracle had come to us.
Really?
We had started to think about children. I had always wanted children, but never knew it was going to ever happen because I was gay.
Right.
But I had an older brother, or I have an older brother, and I had an older sister, and they both had their children young. And so I always, babysat, cared for them. And I was like, I would love to be like a parent,
Yeah.
So I always had that in me. But we started tossing around the idea of adoption at first, Jason and I. However, we knew that would be a long process. And we also knew as a gay couple that the chances of us actually getting a child would be very slim because it wasn't done a lot back then.
Back then, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we were watching, I've always loved the show 2020. If anyone knows what that is.
Me too. I love 2020.
Anyway, we were watching it. And the agency that we ended up with, that you were with, Ellen, that was the agency that was on there. They were doing a interview with the agency and the owner and how it got started. It was about surrogacy and placing, kids with families that couldn't have it. And we both looked at each other at the same time and was like, oh my God, this is possible. We had no idea anything like that existed because we didn't know another gay couple that had been through that.
Okay.
No one had mentioned it. Here we are living in the South. So obviously we're not going to hear it as much as maybe California.
Right.
But
wow,
it was like it was meant to be. And so we took down all the information from that interview and we just started contacting.
Wow.
I
did not know that story. I did not know that story.
We contacted the agency and we were skeptical because obviously we hadn't heard of them. You don't want to be taken for, for a ride.
Right. Yeah. And it's not a cheap process either. So
it's not a cheap process. But we were willing to do whatever it took as long as it worked for us.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how we fell into surrogacy.
That's very interesting. And so then from the time you contacted the agency, I know I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but I just want to know this. From the time you contacted the agency till the time we were matched, how long were you on the waiting list?
Oh yeah.
Actually, we were not on the waiting list very long. I want to
Really?
say a few months.
That's
Um,
it? Wow.
yes.
Okay.
I can't remember if they do all the psychological checking and all the background checks and all of that before they list you.
For the
I would
surrogate,
think-
they do, but and you guys had to get like a whole profile together, like all these pictures. And so I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure they did for you too.
It
Yeah.
was definitely a few months. It was probably somehow 3 months sticks in my head.
Wow, that's not
3
long
months.
at all.
So,
No.
but you guys had to get psych evals as well.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. And they had to go through medical
Medical clearance.
testing, what have you, and you had
Right.
to choose how you were going to do the sperm and if you were going to do the egg donor and how you were going to do that. That was a whole process. So that's something then. How did you choose? Because a lot of times now they spin the sperm. Like that's a new one to me. Yeah. So they don't know who the parent is,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But you guys made a definitive decision. Yes.
Yes.
That who was going to be the donor of that. Was that something that was just like definitive, or was there like conversations about that? Or
There was a conversation about it, and I'm going to tell you how that worked. We both were going to do it. However, we thought that the process would be that we would go through the process and have one child.
right.
And we always knew that we wanted at least 2.
Okay.
So we thought,
Yeah.
okay, you can do it this time, and then I'm going to do it for the second child.
There you go. And
That
you
makes
got
sense.
3. You got 3
Mhm.
in 1, so that was kind of about it. Yeah. So I was like,
That was it.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember?
Yes.
I'm just going to jump ahead, but do you remember when we were in the ultrasound room and it was like I want to say like the 6-week ultrasound, you found out you're pregnant, you're going in to listen for heartbeats and stuff. And when he started counting, do you remember? It's so vivid in my memory how that went when Dr. Sahikian was like, oh, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3.
I
think
know
we all
that
just-
I know that
Right?
I dropped to the floor
Uh-huh.
because I was in shock.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. It was, and
Yeah.
it got dead quiet. It got dead quiet. And he walked out of the room.
What?
And he gave us a minute. And we're like,
Because when they said 3, we had it in our mind that, okay, the most it could be, if it worked the first time, could be like probably twins.
right.
And we were good with that. We had discussed that a lot. Like, that would be great. We hit the jackpot. We never even, because it really wasn't that common
It
to
wasn't.
have triplets like that.
Nope.
And so for us, we never even went beyond like twins.
Right.
So to actually see and hear that.
Yeah. It was like, what do we do now? I know.
And when he was counting and pushing out, I really thought he was going to say 4 because I remember it was 4
Yes.
that was
Yes.
that put in, and I was like, oh my God.
Because I think I said, if you say 4, I'm out of here. And he went, no, just 3.
Just
We were
3.
like, just 3.
Jesus.
What? Yeah, it was a revelation. It took some time. It took some time.
It took some time. Yes.
Yeah.
After I got over the initial shock, I was very excited.
Yeah.
But that just came out of nowhere.
It did.
No one can prepare you for that.
Uh-uh.
No.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God.
I really think this whole journey, excuse me, like you guys finding out about it on Dateline or 2020 and
Which
us,
is so trippy.
us
Mhm.
pairing up and then you getting triplets. And then I just think the whole thing was supposed to happen. I
Mhm.
really do. It
Oh,
was supposed
absolutely.
to happen.
Including finding you.
Right. I agree. You
Mhm.
people, when I got your profile, I had 3 in front of me and your picture just popped off the page and I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait and read that one last. Yeah. What?
So I have a question about that for you, Terry.
Sure.
Then, so they were like, "Hey, you guys need to make a profile of yourself." So did they give you any like, "This is how you do it," or they were just like, "Do it, like, do what you got to do"?
I believe they gave us free reign on that.
Okay.
However, I think they probably suggested a few things just
Mhm.
so the surrogate would kind of know us in a roundabout way,
Yeah.
instead
Right.
of one lane. So
Who,
yeah.
who put that together?
Yeah.
who put the profile together? Mainly, was it you? Because it would, I mean, I'm not saying Jason's not creative because he is, but it just seemed like it had all these little touches to it that
Mhm.
I came to know you for. Do you know what I'm
We
saying?
both worked on it.
Okay.
But the reason why it probably had more of me in that process is probably because we knew I would be the one to stay home.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
That makes sense.
That does
Mhm.
make sense.
That
See,
makes
you don't
Yeah.
hear all this stuff from the other side. And I don't
Oh, yeah.
remember asking any of these questions when we were like getting
Well,
to know each other, because once we found out it was triplets, it was like every day was like a gift. And we're like, okay, we got another day, we got another week. And that's all we could
Oh
think
my
about, really.
That exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember us speaking on the phone about it, and it was like, okay, another day's gone by.
Yeah.
You know, we'd be like,
Yeah.
how do you feel?
Right.
You
Yeah.
aw.
Yeah.
That was nerve-wracking
It was nerve-wracking. I totally agree with you. Totally nerve-wracking.
because
So
of the percentage of triplets,
yeah,
you know,
not making it.
carrying
Yeah.
through, it was very low at the time. So
Right.
we were scared.
Yeah. And being and not being born. I mean, your three were born early, but they really were, they got cooked enough that they really didn't need all kinds of tubes. And I remember them having CPAP, and I remember them having, I hated it that they put them in their heads, but I think that's where they could find the vein
Oh,
for their
Yes.
IVs. Yeah. But I don't remember them like crashing or, they just had to grow and learn to suck and gain weight. And they were in that step down unit pretty fast from what I remember too, because we came and visited there quite a bit.
They were.
There.
They weren't in the, I guess it was NICU. They
Yeah.
were not in the NICU very long.
Right.
Until they went to the step down.
Yeah.
And those days were such a joy for me because I remember, I can't remember how long we were there. It might have been
It was almost 5 weeks total.
5.
Yeah.
And I was there every day, all day.
Aww.
With them. I wanted to do everything. And I
Mhm.
remember the nurses saying to me, we've never had a father come in here and want to do everything.
Aww.
And I said, well, I'm going to be doing it at home. So I might as well,
right.
know the ins and outs and how to do 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
Oh my
practice.
God. Oh my God.
Right. So I did that. I would bathe them, the feeding, like everything.
The UCI was amazing. That's where they were born and they stayed. But UCI, they
Oh,
were amazing, weren't they?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they were.
Phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah, they absolutely were. From the delivery to my taking care of me to helping you guys, it was phenomenal. So you kind of touched on it already, but the reason you chose the agency you chose was pretty much because they, at that time, pretty much focused on gay and lesbian couples, correct? Is that
Yes.
why? Okay.
That is why the agency, that's how they began,
Yeah.
because it was a gay couple that started the agency.
Right.
And obviously they did it because there was no agency to represent us
Yeah.
at the time. And just thank God for them,
Right.
you know,
No, I agree. I agree.
because it really did open the door
Oh yeah.
for all of
Should-
us.
Yeah. It's crazy because like, I mean, I've been a surrogate 3 times, same as my mom. And like my last journey, it was incredibly hard. Every agency I called, they said, I only want to work with gay males. That's all I want to work with. And like, we don't have any. And I'm like, how do you not have, like, I know that they're here somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes. And I think I remember that you, Ellen,
Mhm.
were specifically looking for a gay couple,
I
2
was.
men.
Yes, I
Mhm.
was. Absolutely was. And that was one of my main reasons for going with that agency. Because
Right.
I had a journey before I met up with you two at that agency with a couple, and it didn't go the greatest. I think I was naive. We've talked about this before on the podcast, so we won't go into it a whole lot, but I think I was just naive in the whole process, and they gave me the couple. I didn't get to choose the couple. And there were just things I was like, no, I have to do this again to get the journey I need. And then I got your profile. And I'm like, oh yes, this is the journey I need right here. They're hopping off the page. I know exactly what this is about. And not knowing we would ever get triplets, not knowing it would be one of those types of not knowing any of that. And I just was like, I have to work with these. I have to. And I remember we decided to work with one another on Rosh Hashanah, or else you were told a surrogate was interested in you on Rosh Hashanah. It was one of the two.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, so all that stuff just kind of fell together. Okay, I'll stop with that.
Terry, can I ask you a question about, so when it came time to the matching, because she did get to, so how did it work on your end with her picking you guys? Like how, like you guys knew that the surrogate got to choose and then they just called you and were like, hey, someone's interested?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
The process for us on the other end is that we were busy picking our egg donor.
Right.
Okay.
And finding the perfect match for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And they knew what we were looking for in a surrogate.
Mm-hmm.
And so they tried to match you with that. And obviously they knew what the surrogate, was looking for. And that's how they matched us, because we really wanted someone that wanted to stay involved the whole process.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see going through it where it was like a business transaction, know?
Right.
Yeah.
Not who I am. That's not how I process things.
Right.
I'm an emotional person. So
Yeah.
I was like, I have to make sure this person feels like family to me, because we are going through this together.
Yeah.
Regardless.
That's actually my next question. So that was one of your top things for a surrogate. What were your top three? If that's one of them, what else were you trying to get out of a surrogate that you told the agency?
Well, the same goal as far as we really wanted someone that was going to take it seriously, be very healthy during the process, give us feedback, at any time, and just kind of match up what we were looking for. And I remember you saying, I always do everything I can to make sure that they're healthy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do for you guys. And
Yes.
That was a big one for us, because we were like, wow. Because in my mind, I thought, well, maybe a surrogate is like, don't tell me what to do,
Wow.
Obviously we didn't want to, but we wanted someone that was like-minded.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it was so easy to talk to you guys when we met. So easy. And I was just like, oh, I want them to live closer so we can go out for ice cream and we can do this and we can do that.
That was probably the disadvantage was
Yeah. Because you guys would call and you'd say, oh, we were at a gathering and we told them that, and this was farther along. Maybe we were 5 or 6 months pregnant. And you're like, we totally wish you could have been here because we just raved about you. And you're pregnant with our triplets. And people were just like, oh my God, what? Like, how did this happen? And so for you guys, I'm sure on that end, it was a shocker. What a shocker. What do you call it? Like a wow moment and topic of conversation, and people just like, because neither of you are pregnant, like nobody knows you're having triplets unless it's brought up, right? So yeah, so I can imagine. And
it was you'll probably ask the question, so I won't go into it, but I just how we approach the family about it.
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead and ask your question, Ken, because that's the next thing I want to go into.
Oh no, I wasn't going to ask a question. I was just going to say that, like, you saying, like, you wanted something like that you could like bring into your family. Like, I remember, because I met you guys, I was 8-ish, I think. Yeah. And I just remember, I remember falling in love with you like immediately. Like, I was like, Terry is so fun. Terry is so cute. I love Terry. Because I remember we went to go to the place that they make the food. Benihana. And I guess that was the day that you guys found out it was triplets.
Triplets, yes.
Right. But we were also like, it was also around my birthday. And I just remember, like, I need to sit next to Terry. Like, I was like, I love Terry. Like, so like you guys.
Loved you. I was like, oh my God, let me have a child. It's cute as Kennedy.
Aww, so sweet.
I fell in love with you. I was like, oh my God, she's so adorable.
Well, thank you. No,
Yeah. And look at this. She followed in my footsteps, Terry. She did.
I know. Listen, when I heard that, I was
amazing,
floored, but I was so happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you had watched your mom go through that process. And then for you to want to do it and kind of have that experience, it's like it came full circle, you know?
That's what we say all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And well, and like, so obviously, like I knew I wanted to be a surrogate growing up because I don't remember her first one all that much, but I definitely remember her second, you guys, and her third, the one after you guys. But I just remember, like, especially during your guys' journey, like I was like, what? My mom's a superwoman. These people are amazing. Like, I loved the connection that everybody had and just like the genuine love. And I was like, no one's losing in this situation. There's nothing to lose in this situation. Everybody's gaining something. And so when it came time to me being a surrogate, I was like, well, I know the best possible outcome, which is this journey. And I know pretty non-great outcomes. And so I was really rooting for, like, I wanted what you guys had. Like, you guys, your journey is the journey that made me want to be a surrogate. Because I don't think if I didn't see that, I would have probably different notions of what surrogacy is.
Right.
And luckily I did get that with my first and kind of with my second. But you guys, no one ever made it to the level that you guys are, but pretty darn close.
Yeah, at the time, no.
That's right. Nope. No. And still to this day, you two are some of the most phenomenal human beings that, seriously, I mean, together and apart, like that I will have come across in my lifetime. I'm dead serious. It's your children, just looking at your children who are adults now.
Yeah.
It just solidifies it and keeps me, I'm thinking, my God, look at the job they did with these three. It's amazing. Terry, you've got to be so proud. Seriously. So proud.
I am extremely proud.
It's amazing.
You know, like it's like when you are raising them, you want to instill the best in them, and you hope that you're able to see that later on, because at the time you don't really see it. But and we've seen everything positive that we put into them, and it is amazing. Yeah. And I am extremely, extremely proud.
Oh, you should be. I have every right to be.
Yeah.
And they talk so highly of their dads.
Oh my gosh.
They do.
And they're just so well put together in their words. Like, I'm 27 and I couldn't even articulate a sentence as like kind as they can. Like, just off the bat, I would have to like think about it and be like, I have to like get my words in order. And they just speak like it's fluent. It's just, they just know. And they're just genuine. Like
Sebastian, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, absolutely. They even shock us at times, because we're wowed at how extremely intelligent they are, well-spoken. And not only that, they come with a big heart.
They do.
You know, and they include everyone in that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you know, what nationality you are, you know, what country, it doesn't matter. They just love everyone.
Yeah, that was very apparent. And Sebastian said that Jason, they were all like at home one night, like in their own places, not at one place in Florida. And he just sent out a picture. It was like 2 months ago. And it was the egg donor.
Yeah, I remember that.
No lead through, like, hey, this is a picture of your egg donor. They were all just like, oh, is this somebody in our family tree? Who is this? And then he sends, oh, that's your egg donor.
Yeah, because I don't think that they've ever asked us about the egg donor. And since the egg donor, not that she wasn't an important part of it, obviously she was. Yeah. It's just that we didn't have a relationship with her.
Right.
You know.
Right. Right.
We had the relationship with you. So you were the one that we always spoke about.
Right.
Very highly. And that's how they knew you in the process, you know.
So cute. Okay. So now let's get to how you dealt with the family on this, because we knew before we went in and counted like heartbeats, we knew it was multiples. We just didn't know how many because the beta numbers were so high. Remember? Yeah. We knew. We just did it. We knew at least we were getting 2. Right. Possibility of 4. We had no clue. Yeah. Right. I know. Amazing. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Say it just rings so clear, like it was just yesterday.
And And I will say, I didn't do one day of bed rest while carrying those babies.
No, you were a trooper.
No doctor put me down and said, you're down. It's when I went in for the shots to get their lungs a little more developed. I think we were about 32 weeks. They said, they checked me. They're like, oh, you're staying because you're a couple centimeters. So you're just going to stay. I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go.
Oh
and
my gosh. I can't even wait to hear your story of like when she called you on that. But like first, like, I'm so excited to hear your story. But like, how did you tell like your family?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we actually told when we realized that we were going to try to contact this agency and go through the process, we told the family about that. And what's really interesting is Jason's side of the family. They're not that my family isn't, but his family's very involved, you know, in everything that goes on in everyone's life in that family. And so his aunt invited us to come to Colorado, which they had a vacation house there, to bring the kids, and you know, they would ski and everything. So we did, but part of the reason why she wanted us to come is so that she could talk to us about the idea of us having kids. She wanted to know whether we had really thought about it, and if that was something.
before you got pregnant, before there was a pregnancy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And so we were like, yes, you know, absolutely, we thought about this. You know, I guess in their mind, they probably, because we didn't share everything before that, they probably thought, well, this seems all of a sudden, you know.
Yeah.
Because we had not talked about the fact that we want kids or whatever. We just didn't discuss it because it was just between him and I, you know, at the time. We didn't want to tell family, you know, we're going to go through adoption, or we're going to go through what we didn't know at the time, you know, surrogacy or anything, until that was what we were going to do.
Right.
So I think they thought that maybe it was just, oh, it's on a whim. This is what we're doing.
Wow. Wow. My goodness. Okay.
But I'm glad that they did, because they took it seriously. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. How did your family react?
My family was pretty shocked.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that they ever thought that that was something that was available.
Okay. You know, back then it was kind of new.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was kind of new.
It was kind of new. Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting.
And my family wasn't it. And it's not the fact that we didn't discuss anything. Like growing up, my parents always knew I was gay. Yeah. And they just were accepting of me. Yeah. It wasn't even, I never even had to come out to them, because they just always knew.
Yeah.
It was like just a knowing. And I grew up knowing that they knew, and they accepted me for who I was. Aww. So I never had to go through a lot of, you know, what other gay men have to go through. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
With that process.
Yeah. So that honestly, that shaped you big time, because look how you instilled all of that into your kids. It's just, there shouldn't be a stigma. There shouldn't, I don't know.
No.
I always felt bad. And when I was growing up, and especially in high school, when I had friends that were gay, my parents were always accepting of them coming over and staying at our house, because, you know, I did have some friends where their family was completely against it and thought that it was a choice.
And you lived in the South, right? Or did you not live
in the South? We lived in the South, yes.
Yeah.
So even an added layer to that, like it's just, oh man.
Absolutely. Okay. I was glad that my family wasn't like that, you know?
No, God, thank God. So how do you tell people that, number one, okay, we have a surrogate, we're pregnant, and by the way, it's triplets? Or do you keep that quiet?
And just show up one day?
We did not keep it quiet. We were so excited about it. Now, at first, we only shared it with the family because we didn't want to jinx it, you know?
No, yeah.
We wanted to go through that period where, okay, today's a good day. Let's wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a good day. Okay.
Right.
So,
Oh, funny.
I don't know what that period is. You would probably know that, Ellen.
Usually first trimester, it's like 12 weeks. It's usually like the 3-month mark, 12 weeks. But even after that, when you're carrying multiples, stuff can go wrong, you know? So
Right.
yeah. But the fact that they're all formed and they have brains and they have 10 fingers and 10 toes, like that right around there is like 14 weeks, 12 weeks, 14 weeks. And then they just need to grow. So
right. And I think that was the time that we started telling, you know, the public or anyone, you know, that we knew outside of the fact that we were doing it. And we had a lot of people very excited for us.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask. Yeah. Did you get anybody who was like, oh, there's no way you're going to be able to do this? Like, just, oh, really? You think you're having triplets? Like,
well, I did get that maybe from some coworkers at the time that I didn't really know, or they didn't know. They didn't know me.
Okay.
Anyone that knew me personally, they would not have thought that or said that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Interesting.
But there was a few people that I worked with that would ask me questions about it, and then they were like, I don't know. That's pretty hard. I don't think I could do it. I don't know how you're going to do it. You know, that sort of thing.
You did it very well. So then that brings me to another little question, because you both were working full time when you were going through this process. We get pregnant, you're still working. And then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, do you get laid off from your job, or do they have a close? What happened with that, where now you got to stay home and it just kind of aligned, because here you have 3 babies coming?
Well, I knew, because we had discussed it. We had discussed, obviously, that because we wanted our kids to have one parent home. Yeah. Because we went through this whole big process.
Right.
Of having children, which was really like a miracle. And we didn't want to waste it on someone else raising our kids.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we were fortunate enough that Jason, you know, made a pretty good living that I could afford to stop working.
There you go.
So at the time, I kind of knew when I was going to stop working. And like I stated, my coworkers knew that we were expecting the triplets and that I would have to leave.
They're going to leave. Okay. And then you had a nanny, right? For part of it. I mean, I think the kids told me she left at age 15. Like, what? That's amazing.
Yeah, interesting. Well, at first we had au pairs.
Right.
So anyone that's not aware of what an au pair is, it's usually a college student from another country. And you work with an agency to hire them, and they can only work a certain amount of hours, you know, and they have to go to school, you know, while they're in the US. So we went through 3 of them.
Can I ask, because I've never heard of those, so what's the benefit? Like, why do that first than, you know, like a nanny who lives in the States, I guess?
Well, it was because at the time, that was kind of what was spoken of a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like with anyone that had multiples, they chose to do the au pair because they felt like they were helping a student as well, because these students really wanted the experience of living in the US. And usually they obviously loved kids as well. Yeah. And so it helped them, and it also helped us.
Got it. Okay.
Was there a time limit on each au pair? Could they only stay like, okay, there was. Okay.
Yeah, because they were only on a work visa.
Right. Okay. And so that's why you went through 3. It wasn't like you didn't like one, or you just, or was it? Oh, sorry.
No, it was that we did not like the specific ones that we had. Okay. My personal, and I don't mean to say this against au pairs, because I know some people that have had extremely positive outcomes with their au pairs. You know, they loved them. Everything worked out great. For some reason, we did not have luck with au pairs.
Okay.
Our experience was that the ones that we were given came here really to meet people their age and party,
Oh,
and be able to say that they did that in the US.
interesting.
So it was
Yeah.
difficult. And for me, I would always have a clash with them because I was very hands-on with my children, and I just wanted the person there just to assist me. It wasn't that I wanted them to do it and that I would stand by and watch them do it. It was just the opposite. And I would even have family members that would say, why are you doing that? You've got somebody to do that for you. And I'm like, because they're my children.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do it. And if I ask someone else to do it, it's because I'm doing something else for one of the other two.
Right.
Well, right. You have
You know.
3.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and if we didn't have triplets, obviously we wouldn't have had help. You know, I would have been to carry that, but we wanted to make sure that it wasn't a crazy household.
My God, especially like the first 2 years of their life. I can't imagine just doing that by yourself. I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't.
Absolutely. It would be, if I didn't have an au pair or a nanny, it would have been difficult. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to ask a random question. So like when you brought them home, did you guys have them sleep in the same crib because they're so used to being next to each other? Or like, it was like, nope, you guys get your own beds?
No, we did put them together.
Yeah.
They had a huge bedroom. I don't know if you remember this, Ellen. When you
I do. The mural was phenomenal.
Yeah, we hired someone before the kids were born to paint a mural
beautiful
on every wall in their nursery. And really the nursery was actually like a bonus room in the house.
Yeah.
It wasn't really meant for a bedroom necessarily, but we thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect for 3 cribs. Plus there's still plenty of room. Plus there were 2 built-in desks in there from the previous owner that we turned into changing tables.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Great.
So it was like the perfect, and there was plenty of one whole entire wall, long wall, had 3 closets.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
It was as if that was like meant to be as well. And it had a bedroom in there as well. So
it sounds like a mini house. Like just like that room.
It was very large.
Your house in Georgia was huge. Was big. Like it was massive. Yeah.
Right. It and so we did put them, I think we put them in Madison's crib at first because she was in the middle. Her crib was in the middle. We kind of put them in a U shape, the cribs. And so she was like kind of like at the top, I guess.
Yeah.
And we put them all 3 in there because they were used to it. And then at some period, we did separate them. I think it was when they got to moving around too much,
right?
You know, kind of needed their own space.
Absolutely.
And we would do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow. Crazy.
Babies.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the transfer. So at the transfer, there was a lot of discussion about egg quality and what it rated and how many were we gonna put in. And I remember that conversation. Dr. Sahikian walks in with a piece of paper, kind of tells us the quality, says most of them aren't really good. You have 4 that are so-so. What do you want to do? Like it was just a nonchalant conversation. Do you remember it that way? Like
I do remember it. I do remember it that way. And I remember trusting him because the reason why we were using him was that he had an extremely good track record of being able to produce pregnancies. So we were like, okay, we need to go with him. We didn't think twice about it. So I trusted him.
And I had used him with the first couple I had. And that was part of my thing. The second couple, I needed them to just even look at Dr. Sahikian to see what he was all about and hopefully go with him because I had such a good rapport with him. I wanted to stay with him and he got me pregnant on the first time with the other one. So I'm like, well, heck, let's try it with him again. So we're all standing in this room. They walk in and he's telling them all the quality of the eggs. And then we all just kind of looked at each other and he's like, well, how many do you want to put in? I don't know who said it. But when the number 4 was brought up, I think we all just went, yeah, let's try it. I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
thinking that.
Right. Now I do remember him trying to talk us out of it.
You do? Okay.
Because he gave us sort of the percentage of you carrying more than 2, if that were to happen,
Right.
or more than 1. And so we thought about that, all 3 of us, or 4 of us, and we were like, well, I don't know. We feel like we should go with 4. We all agreed that we wanted to make sure it happened, you know?
Because the quality wasn't that great from what I remember.
Right. And
you know,
we thought to ourselves, why not push the envelope?
Right.
Maybe we will get a pregnancy instead of having to do this again.
Right.
Crazy.
Agreed. Yeah, but we all agreed. I totally remember us all agreeing, but it was such a nonchalant conversation that he just kind of comes in with this paper and it's got like the markings on it. And I'm like, oh, this is how you do it. And
it's just, that's so crazy. Cause like now, like, cause each time that I've done it, it's been, no, we do 1 and that's it. And if it doesn't take, then we'll do only 1 the next time. And like, cause when I got home from the first time after I had my first journey, I went and I was like, yeah, they only implanted 1. And she like flipped out. She was like, no,
I did.
like this is like, that is horrible. Like they need to do more. And I was like, I don't want triplets. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like
it's the science.
It's definitely come a long way.
It's come a long way. Yeah. They are almost confident.
I remember his numbers, the percentages. I don't remember the exact percentages, but I remember him going through it with us and kind of breaking down the likelihood that it would be more than 2.
Right.
If something, you know, if it did take.
Yeah.
His likelihood was low.
Yeah.
The likelihood was low that we would get triplets.
That even that we would get pregnant, from what I remember him saying. Like, he's like,
exactly.
Yeah. He's like, I give you like a 15-20% chance. And I'm like, I took all those shots and you're giving me a less than a 20%. Are you kidding? So I just felt defeated walking out. I literally felt defeated. Like,
and I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to put more is that we were thinking, well, if the percentage is that, and then he gave some crazy, very low number of like multiples. I remember him saying multiples. It wasn't like twins, triplets, whatever.
Right.
It was just multiples. It was very low. So we thought, oh my God, let's put more in. Maybe we'll have at least 1.
Right. Let's try it. Exactly. Gosh almighty. So we kind of touched on it, and we touched about, we were in the room and we all heard 3, you dropped to the floor and then you became excited about it. Then did you start like to fantasize, oh, you know, I wonder, do we want 2 boys and a girl? Do we want all girls? Do we want, like, was there a scenario you were looking for, or what you got was exactly what you wanted? And I mean, be honest with me. Were you looking for, because poor Maddie, the only girl in a house of guys, we're going to be talking
all
about that
boys.
when we're,
Exactly. Yes.
I'm like, oh, poor Maddie. Yeah. So it would have been nice if there was another girl in there to kind of pal around with her. But I'm just curious, was there a scenario you were looking for?
I thought in my mind that if it was multiples, obviously if it was twins, I wanted a boy and a girl, because that's like, you know, that's what everyone would want. So, and if we had gone through the process twice, obviously I would hope for a boy and a girl.
Right.
In that scenario. But let's see. I don't think we thought much about whether it should be 3 boys or 3 girls. I do remember, because I grew up with a sister and a brother.
Right.
I do remember girls have a lot of drama. So I think I probably thought to myself, I'd rather have 1 girl and 2 boys.
There you go. There you go. So how did your families react when they got the news that, okay, this is viable, there are 3 in there, and we're bringing 3 home? Like we're to the point now where, we're bringing 3.
Yeah.
They were excited, but before the excitement set in, they were concerned.
Right. Yeah.
They were worried. They were like, okay, it's one thing that you wanted to go through this process, and you don't know whether you're going to have 1 child or not come out of it.
Right.
and they were just as shocked as we were of like, it's triplets.
Yeah.
So I think that everyone had to kind of take that in.
Right.
And then once they did, and they realized how wonderful that is,
Yeah.
then they were absolutely thrilled.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good to have support, because you need it. You absolutely need it.
Well, that was one of the things that they ask you in the agency during the psychological evaluation is that, do you have a good support system?
Yeah.
Because you are going to need it.
You are. They asked that of me as well, because I'm carrying, not knowing that we were going down that road of multiples. I mean, nobody even knew that was happening. But they do ask, what's your support system? Who are they? You know, how often do you see them and talk to them? Like, that was a big deal. And in hindsight, it was a big deal. I needed somebody. Yeah. Through all my journeys, I needed somebody. So did Kennedy. Like, you need somebody. You can't do that all by yourself. Even though the intended parents, you as the couple, are there for emotional support as well. You're not right there. You're not like next to me, you know, when I'm having an emotional day or I'm having a euphoric day or what have you. I mean, we can call each other, but it's just not the same. You have to have somebody there who can help you when you needed the help. Yeah. Cause towards the end there, I could barely walk. I could barely get behind the wheel. I was so big. I was so big. I was so big.
So big.
I was. I was like, damn.
Can I ask you guys, it might be a stupid question, because like in my head I feel like it could be stupid, but was there ever a time, like for both of you, that, because you're carrying triplets, so it's a high risk pregnancy, right? But was there ever a time that you could like stop and like be like fully just like excited and like not worried? Like did there come a time in the pregnancy where you were like, yeah, we're good, we got this?
I think it, for me personally, if I can answer it, you guys came out in the summer. I want to, if it was either June, somewhere around there, and the babies were due in October, but came in August. And we had like a little party here, and my mom was here, and it was like kind of like a little shower for you guys, but my family could meet you. That is when I knew we got it. It's going to happen. I was already big by then. But that's when I actually just a huge sigh of relief, because you were all intermingling. And to me, you were now part of my family. And it just made me a big sigh. And I go, we can do this. I know it's going to be a C-section. I know it's going to be a rough recovery. We can do it. We got it. But that's when it was for me. I don't know when it was for you.
For me, I think that it was always there that there could be an issue. You know, because we just had heard so much about how it's complicated. Anything can happen. It's you know, high risk pregnancy, but we did feel more at ease the longer we were in the process. You know, because obviously we were like, okay, they're getting fully cooked.
They're getting there.
But speaking of us spending time with your family, that was something that was a bonus for us, because we had wanted that, but we didn't necessarily know if that's what we were going to get, you know? And knowing that you were up for that and wanted to have a relationship throughout the whole process with us, that was one thing. But once connecting with your family that way, and seeing them multiple times, it kind of solidified everything.
And vice versa, because I got to meet, I met Gail a couple times in person, and Steve a couple times. I think that's his first name, right? And Jeff. I mean, Jeff actually came to my house out here with whatever girlfriend he had at that point. I remember them coming. He's married. Yes, he's married, right? And they're expecting a baby. Is that what I heard from the kids? Wow. I never thought he'd settle down. I love you, Jeff, but it just never did.
Right. The family didn't think he would ever do it either.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So vice versa. Like I always, and Gail comments on Facebook. I mean, she commented when the kids were littler, every time it was my birthday. And I know I'm pretty sure you made that happen. You would have the kids call me on my birthday. Who does that, Terry? To this day, that meant so much. My birthday, like, but I get it. because if I weren't here, they wouldn't be here. So
Right.
yeah, I get it. And it means everything to me that happened. It meant they wrote me little notes. I still have them. They're framed. That
Oh,
and it was like little, I want to say maybe they were 7 or 8, because the writing's not the greatest, but you could make everything out that they said. And I think because maybe I sent them something and they were like thank you notes, and and they all wrote pictures, just the little things like that. And we didn't talk monthly, we didn't talk weekly. You guys were busy, you were raising a family of 5 or 3 kids, and five total. But those moments that we did connect, ever so small, meant the world. And I think
well, I'm glad I said that. I mean, you said that to me because
meant the
it
world.
really, that's what we wanted, you know.
Yeah.
We really wanted someone that was not going to go through this process very connected during the process, but even afterwards, because we really wanted our children to understand how they came about.
Yeah.
And that we had a relationship with you and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because
it meant the world.
Right. Because I think that it's better for kids to understand that. I'm not putting down anyone that doesn't want to have that. Right. There's reasons why they go through that process of not, having a relationship after they're born. But for us, that's what we wanted, because we were so thankful to even have the opportunity to be able to do it. And then obviously to meet you, and you had the same goals and wants as we did. I just wanted to go through their whole life with you being involved.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And the fact that they're now adults, and I'm like Ben and I are talking about, I'm going to go, he's either coming here or I'm going to him. He lives here now, like go to school here. Like I teach at his school, for crying out loud. I could go see him one night, but that's so weird to me, but it feels so natural too. That's very cool. Yeah. He played basketball and I went to a game. I hurried up and finished what I had to do. And I was like, I got to get to his game. And I like broke all kinds of speed records. Like it was on a weekend and I got down there and, he hugged me. He was all sweaty and gross. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't care. Just give me come on, give me a hug. Yeah. But it's the little things like that. It's like super nice. Just
I have two. Well, one of them's a statement and then one of them's a question, but I do forget who said it. It was either Ben or Sebastian. And they were like, oh, up until like recently, up until we got the picture of our egg donor, I kind of just thought like you were our like biological mom.
Ben mentioned something like that. No, Sebastian mentioned something like that. Ben had thought years ago that they were he thought it was just adoption. Like a lady had 3 babies. This is what he says in the podcast. A lady had 3 babies and they needed to find a home. And that's how his dad's got them.
Well, that's what's interesting is because from day one, we knew that we were going to be open and honest and raise our kids with them knowing they came about, why there isn't a mom in the equation.
Right.
The full story. We raised them knowing that. But it's difficult when you realize that you want to instill that in them and share it, but you don't necessarily know when they're going to really take it in.
Right.
So I think they didn't actually process it the way we were explaining it until they were much older and could kind of really process it.
That's what I got from talking to both of them. They understood what it kind of meant, but like you said, they had a fuller understanding after they got to process it for a while. That's how I
Right, because then they knew the details.
Right.
I think for some reason in their mind they didn't hold on to the details of it. Right. They just knew that you were involved throughout their life. And so I think they just assumed.
How did I get the name California Mom? Do you remember how that came about?
I don't know how that came about.
Huh?
I think that was just something that the kids, it may have just been one child that came up with it.
Okay. It's so cute.
Yeah. I like it.
I love it.
We never corrected them when they said that because we wanted them to kind of feel whatever they were feeling,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So if that's what made them feel comfort in the understanding the process, then we were
Yeah.
okay with that, you know?
So
We knew that once they were old enough to really understand everything, they would, you
Yeah.
know?
right. And it's cute. So like a little connection. So when I was pregnant, my first journey, they were like, well, like, what do we call you? And my mom shared the California mom, that you guys do. And so she's gonna be 4, and I'm gonna go see them next week. I'm just gonna go see one of the dads because they just had another baby. But yeah, and they're like, so I'm known as her California mom.
Isn't
So
that
like
cool?
that's like
Awesome.
another full circle.
And they're from
It
China.
really is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's
It's super cool.
it's definitely different. But yeah, they'll call on her birthday and stuff, and she'll say, "Hi, Kennedy," and like, "You're my California mom," and I'm like, "Oh my God."
I
It's
love that.
yeah.
And I tell you, I have to give credit to the nanny that we had for so many years.
Yeah.
Also was a huge part of our lives. And she really went out of her way to make sure when we weren't around that the kids understood the whole process as well.
Wow.
You know, and
Yeah.
they of your family and Ellen and all of that.
Wow.
So I do have to give credit to her as well, because she was really positive in that way. And she didn't, she's from South Africa. She didn't grow up around,
Yeah.
2 dads, having
Right.
kids and that
Right.
sort of thing. It was new to her.
Right.
So I love the fact that she embraced it so willingly.
Yeah.
So when you were in Georgia and you bring these 3 babies home and the neighbors and the community starts finding out that, oh, they have triplets over there on whatever street you lived on and blah, blah, blah. Do you then feel like you kind of became the role models for other gay couples to kind of embrace surrogacy, or your gay friends started talking to you more about it, or what have you? Did you refer quite a few of them to the agency, or were they already in processes?
Well, I don't think we really looked at ourselves as role models necessarily.
Right.
The agency did. Because the agency asked us early on, especially after this process, they were like, do you mind if we connect you with other couples?
Oh, very interesting.
And you can share your story and just, they can ask you any questions about the whole process and what have you. And we agreed to it. So we did talk to many couples about our journey. And so I think that did help some couples.
Yeah.
I have to say, because in the gay community, especially for men, not all of them want children,
Right. Right.
Right.
It's a choice,
Yeah.
Some can be selfish, and that's okay. It goes the other way as well.
Right. I hear you.
Anyone can be selfish, but it takes a selfless person to go through this process and to want kids because a lot of people don't understand, once you decide to have a family, you put yourself on the back burner.
You do.
Your kids come first. They are everything that comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And so we knew that.
Yeah.
We absolutely knew that. And so we went in
with the correct mindset. Yeah,
and
you did.
I was very involved with everything that my kids went through. I was the vice president of the PTA.
Oh my gosh.
I was, all of their practices of their the games they would play, like soccer or football or any of that they would do. Wow. Madison's dance.
Aww.
So in our community, speaking of the community, because Jason's family, part of his family lived there, and they were a huge part of the Jewish community because they're Jewish, obviously. Yeah. And that whole community welcomed us with open arms.
Wow.
And we were just embraced in every holiday or every occasion that they had, their friends or someone from the community around us. They were always, how are you doing? Oh my God, the kids are growing. It was just a very positive
good
experience. But in my kids, I think that they were very comfortable. We were safe. In a way, I feel guilty because I know that not all couples have this, but we were kind of in a bubble, because it was a very large Jewish community that we were involved with. And we just knew nothing but positive things, surrounding our family. And we raised them pretty much Jewish, so there was no negative. We didn't even have anyone that I think that asked the kids early on, where's your mommy, or what, why don't you have a mom, or what have you? Because the parents, especially the mothers, because that's usually who I was friends with, because we all gather our kids together, and obviously the school involvement, they would explain it to their kids. So we never really had that. Now, as they grew older and we moved from that bubble, I think it was different for my kids. I think that they then had to process those questions and answer them, and kind of understand what really people are kind of looking in at them, like, where's your mom? How did it happen? Are you adopted? That sort of thing.
And both boys had similar but different takes on that. I believe it was Ben who was, I talked to everybody about it, and
no.
Sebastian was that
Ben
way. I'm
shied
sorry.
away from it, and Sebastian was like,
Sebastian wholeheartedly. Let's talk. Right. And you're right. Ben shied away from it. I'm sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. Which was interesting to me, because he's like, Ben was like, why even have to go down that rabbit hole? Why not just go on with my life? Yes, I'm a triplet. Yes, but how I got to be there. Some people you can read the room, he kind of said, and you just shy away from it. And I'm like, you know what? I personally did that being pregnant as a surrogate, like for gay men, you shy away from some of it, right?
I experienced that as well, especially like if I went to a grocery store or some outing, and someone would say, oh my gosh, so cute, you have triplets. And they would say things like, oh, your wife must be really tired. They just all of a sudden just thought assumed that. And actually, just depending on the situation and how I felt, I would either correct him or I wouldn't. If I thought it wasn't even worth
exactly,
I wouldn't do it.
Worth your time. That's what I say. Okay, we already did that one.
Terry, so can I ask you, do you remember at like what age you kind of like you were like telling the kids and like gave them more information, like you have two dads, and do you remember like how, like what your story was to them?
Our story to them was exactly how it happened, because we always wanted to make sure we told them the truth, so that when they were older, it wasn't like, well, you didn't tell me that, or why did you leave that out? We would be very open, and we raised them sort of like to just always know. But obviously, as they got questioned when they were older, probably middle school, they would probably be asked questions. Then they would ask us more about it.
There we go.
Got it. Okay.
And then we would explain it again. But, as they got older, they kind of took in piece by piece and kind of together.
And retained it a bit more and was able to understand.
Because Ben even said something, and I got the right one on his podcast, like things that we inherited from Ellen, and things we inherited from the egg donor, and things
I
we inherited from
know.
and I'm like, and I didn't, and I'm like, huh, I just gave him a blood supply. Like I gave him a home, little
I
oven
thought it was
there.
I thought that
It was
was the cutest
it
thing
was so
ever.
cute. I know. I
It
just was
is the
like,
cutest thing
oh,
because they
yeah,
didn't, at that time, they couldn't really process,
Yeah.
yeah,
what an
Yeah.
egg donor was and what a
right.
surrogate was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
No,
I mean,
it's
think
just
about it.
sweet.
Before all this even came about, we didn't even know. We were shocked, and we didn't even know the whole process or understand it.
Yeah, no,
Right.
agreed,
So
agreed.
you think about a child, how they're trying to put it together in their little brain and
So-
what they get out of it. Yeah.
Right, and what they can process, and they just
It's crazy.
in one and out the other. It is amazing. Like being a 6-year-old and trying to have to understand that. You're like, huh? Because I was adopted as a child. Everybody knows that already. But when I was told that, I really didn't process it as anything big. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then later in my adulthood, it became very important to me to understand what this was. And hold on a second, I actually have a biological mother. Wait a minute. Like, yeah,
Right.
it became very important to me as I got older. So backing up just a little bit, when you guys had to pick the egg donor, because you already know who you're going, the sperm, got that. What are you looking for in an egg donor? Do you remember like the top 1 or 2 things that you were looking for?
I do.
Okay.
Since we knew that Jason was going to go through this process, because remember at the time we didn't know anything about multiples.
Right.
I thought we would do it again, and then I would be the donor,
Exactly.
sperm donor. So, so we were looking for characteristics that would have sort of features
Okay.
of mine and features of him.
Okay.
That was kind of important to me because I knew that they wouldn't have my DNA.
Right.
And it was important for me to make them feel like somehow, they have my eyes or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
logically involved. I just wanted that because to see them and see some characteristics that are mine, I just thought that would be amazing, because obviously I knew they would have, Jason's something
It's crazy how much they look like Jason, the 2 boys especially. Like it's insane.
Those genes are extremely strong.
It's insane. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I saw a picture of the egg donor, and Maddie's got like the hair, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really seen her or I had interacted with her yet. So I'll get more when I actually talk to her, but it seems like the boys represent a little bit more of Jason. And what does Maddie have?
Maddie is a combination, but you can see, you can definitely see some of the egg donor in Madison.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
The other top for us,
Yeah.
and this may have been number 1, and then the other thing number 2, I can't remember, but the background.
Okay.
We had to be very careful because there are some health issues that could develop since they were Jewish.
Yes.
There's things that can come up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure, was there any
Right.
indication of that anywhere in the family?
Okay. Wow.
And of course we wanted someone, not that this can be carried over because I'm not sure if that's possible. But we wanted someone that was smart, and like a positive person. Obviously we looked into psychological
Big time.
That's big deal.
well.
Yeah.
We didn't want our kids to be having any mental issues, or not that we wouldn't have loved them just the same, but if we could prevent that,
for sure,
we definitely wanted to do that. So health and background were extremely important to us.
And definitely, because I didn't know this until you just said it, and might be wrong, a Jewish egg donor. Was she of Jewish descent? Yes,
she did.
Okay.
That wasn't something we necessarily looked for, but once we were
Okay.
looking through the different ones, we realized that, okay, that could be a positive as well.
Okay.
Right.
Very
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. Great.
My
Wow.
goodness, I remember that book was like extremely thick of the
Right.
egg.
Wow.
Oh my
And we did have a
gosh.
few of them chosen.
Oh, okay.
We narrowed it down to like the top 3.
Okay.
And we were kind of going back and forth of, okay, well,
Yeah.
this one, this one, that kind of thing. And then we narrowed it down to the one.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting process.
I bet it's because I'm not giving them any DNA base. I mean, really, you just got to find somebody who's sane just to be able to carry them and like get even just one baby, get it to where it needs to be. But that to me would have been a more daunting process, the egg donor,
Right.
because that half that DNA is going to be in your children. You're like, okay. Yeah, that to
But
me.
that goes back also to the agency.
Uh-huh.
Obviously we picked an agency that worked with gay couples.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the reasons too we felt comfortable doing this process is that back then it was hard you didn't hear about gay couples doing this.
No.
Those were still the days where someone carrying someone else's child was that person's DNA. The woman that was carrying the child, that would be someone's DNA. And there were times, there's plenty of court battles when the woman would decide that she wanted to keep the children,
right,
instead of give them up.
Right.
And so we knew that during this process of an egg donor and then a surrogate being separate, we were like, oh my gosh, thank God they've come to this point, in the process.
And I would have never used my own eggs ever because my children look so much like me. I couldn't have people running around looking like me that I'm not related. Like, I'm like, yeah, no, that can't happen.
You couldn't have mini me's running around that you didn't care for.
Plus, coming from an adoptive background, like I knew what a struggle that was, not realizing it was a struggle till my adult years, that there was a puzzle piece missing and I couldn't really quite do that to other children, even though they weren't quite mine. And I agreed to give my eggs. I couldn't have done that. So I'm glad it went the way we did.
That's even more of a reason, obviously, not to do it.
Big time.
But those were just horror stories that you would hear.
Yeah.
In the early days that,
Kennedy and I got this a lot when we were pregnant with babies and surrogating. Oh, how can you give the baby up? Like, that's just a question that honestly, every time we got asked it, I'm just like, oh my God, we're babysitting, I'm just carrying, it's somebody else's children. We're helping create a family. So were you ever worried? And I know you only did the one with me, but you were ever worried that I would like run with them? Like I would like not give them to you? Like, I'm curious, like, were there doubts?
No, I never had that feeling. Now I would have, obviously, if it was the situation where biologically they were the person, I would definitely have been worried about that. However, I didn't worry about that with you. But on the flip side, I did get the same questions that you were getting. How could she give up her child? That kind of, why don't you have your own, someone that's like with you and have your own child? And it was like, well, that's sort of what we're doing.
Right. Exactly. Isn't that interesting?
They did, just like us, we didn't know the process until we started learning about it.
Right.
And there are people out there that just are living their lives and they weren't paying attention to any of that going on at the time. So I can understand their questions.
Yeah.
But it got old.
Yeah, agreed. And back then there weren't a lot of surrogate friendly states. California was a big one and always has and always will continue to be a good big one. But there are other states who've kind of come on board since then. But that I just remember people would come from all over to get a California surrogate because we were so surrogate friendly. So surrogate friendly. Yeah, absolutely.
But fun fact about your guys' agency that you went with, I tried to get accepted to that agency because they are very popular in California. They are very well known. And I got accepted. And then they went into my psych from forever ago, my medical documents. And I had postpartum after my son. So they said, you can no longer be a surrogate. Have a good day. Yeah.
Right.
Really?
So, yeah.
They claim, don't they claim they only take the top?
So they take the top 1% of surrogates. But I was just like, I've had 2 other surrogate babies. Like, but it was, yeah.
They also do a lot of high profile, don't they? A lot of high profile.
Yeah. A lot of celebrities go there and stuff. But still, like, it was just put a bad taste in my mouth, that agency.
Yeah.
It would for me too.
Yeah.
That's sad that you had that situation.
Yeah. But yeah,
because
but I'm happy that you guys did.
For me, that's not something that we would have looked at as a negative. You know, it's the only thing that if there's like something permanent, you know, in that family that's like schizophrenia or anything like that could be carried down.
Yeah, that's different.
It's something that we would look at
for sure.
But not postpartum. I mean,
postpartum is
go through that. It's like,
and it's all hormonally based, and your hormones are just going nuts, and so they have to regulate themselves. So that to me is just ridiculous. But
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't
understand.
I know.
It worked out for you after all. So
it did.
Yeah,
it did. I went other places.
Do you have any questions, Kennedy, from the your followers? Did they about this one?
Well, I kind of just like told them today. So like a couple of them were just like, oh my gosh, when's it coming out? We're so excited. I was like, oh, okay.
Because you're our first surrogate parent that we've interviewed. Intended parent. Sorry. Your first intended parent. Yes.
So
I feel lucky then.
Yes. Everyone's very interested to hear an intended parent side, because obviously all we know is the surrogate side. Like, so that's why I was very interested to find out that you still had to go through a psych eval and that you still had to do medical clearance, because I just didn't think that you guys would have to do the same steps as we did. I get the medical clearance because, you know, you don't know, like one of my couples had, I think it was like Hep B or maybe it was Hep C, and they were like, you know, and like, so just like disclosure and of stuff like that. And I know HIV is still a thing that they have to make you aware of and stuff like that. But yeah, it's nice to know that they take that surrogate agencies take the same precautions with the intended parents, and they're not just like, oh, since you're fronting the money, we'll take you no matter what type thing.
Well, they did it when we were doing it, right?
Definitely not the situation.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because I think they had plenty of people that wanted to do the process, go through the process.
Okay.
So it's not like they had to take whoever, you know, was interested doing it, and they didn't care about the process, the detailed process like they did with you. With us, they absolutely did that to every person that was
which made the surrogate feel good as well, because I did have a journey that I felt like it was a business transaction. They were buying a baby. That's how they made me feel. And I couldn't get beyond that. That's how I was treated, and maybe of no fault of their own. Maybe they didn't know any better, but that's how it went down. So
I remember sharing that with us.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's why it was so important to me to do it again, because everybody's like, why in God's name would you do this again when this just happened? And I'm like, well, because y'all don't know what's going on in my head right now. I have to get what I need out of this. And I got what I needed out of this and so much more from the journey with you guys. When those triplets were born and they were in the hospital for like upwards to 5 weeks, and I was released from the hospital, and then I had to go back in and get like a blood transfusion and stuff like that. I've told this on many podcasts. You guys gave me free reign with them. I had bracelets on. I could go in to the step down. I didn't have to like call, oh, can you make an appointment? Can I come to, you let my kids come in? Who does that? Nobody.
No.
Nobody does that.
Well,
like,
And like Terry, so something that like I'm a big advocate on, and so is my mom, is that it's very important. Like we think it's extremely important to get your solid hour with the baby, like without anybody hovering over you. Because if you've trusted me to carry your baby for 9 months, I feel like maybe you can trust me for an hour. I'm not gonna like run to Mexico within that hour. Like there's a bunch of, you know.
Right. We were always
Yeah.
open to that. That wasn't even like a question to
Yeah.
Right.
We were always like, you've gone through this process. Obviously, you know, we're not going to just say, okay, well,
Bye.
bye. Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye. Now that we have the kids, bye.
You'd be surprised how many people do that though. You'd be surprised, Terry.
That's very sad because
it is.
No matter how you go into this process, whether you're the surrogate or the intended parents, this is a very intimate process for anyone. And it's emotional for the surrogates as well as it is for us, you know, maybe even more because you've had to feel so many emotions, natural emotions during the pregnancy.
Right.
And you've carried them, you know, you've gone through every kick and sickness or whatever during the pregnancy. Obviously, you're going to see them, spend some time with them, make sure that you know that, oh my God, this is the product, you know? This is what we worked for, and everything is A-okay.
So surreal that I was sitting and I have the picture. I'm sitting in a rocking chair, and all three, the way they were in me, are sitting on me. And it was like literally 3 weeks ago they were in, and they hadn't gained that much, right? They didn't gain that much weight in the 3 weeks. And I'm thinking, Jesus, how did this happen? Like, oh my God, that was just ridiculous for me when I was actually holding all three. Amazing. And then the fact that you guys let me go to the tarmac and help you put those car seats in that airplane.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I will not cry today, but I cried on the other podcast.
She cried talking to Ben. She cried talking to Sebastian.
Because I don't think you and Jason knew how much closure that gave me. I got to see you fly off to your home with those 3 babies I just carried for you. And then like I talked to you right as like you walked in the door because there was some storm or something. And I was like panicking, going, oh my God, I hope they're home. And like, I'm calling like, and you were so gracious. You just got home with your 3 babies and you're like, yes, we just got home. Like you guys were so gracious that I was probably a neurotic mess, but just being able to see them go and not just get a call from the hospital. Hey, we're leaving today. See ya, you know, bye. Thanks for everything. Yeah. I don't know.
No, it was extremely important. We said that from the beginning and we meant it, that we wanted you involved through the whole process. And
it was so nice.
You just giving birth doesn't end the process. It didn't end the process for us.
Right. Know? And you are one. Back then you were one of a different kind of beast. Like not a lot of people thought that way. And I'm hoping that's why we do this podcast. We're hoping to change all of that. And I know in Kennedy's situation, she's had some that have been that way and one that just absolutely wasn't that way. It was more of a business transaction, which was sad.
I remember them and the agency asking us how much involvement, you know, you have surrogate. That is something that they do ask you.
Huh.
That's good.
That is good. Yeah. I hope that's something they still
and
ask
we
today.
said it's open, like, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
Somebody involved, because this is not something it's not a vending machine, you know.
No,
put your cash in and get out a product and walk away.
That's a great analogy.
That is a great analogy.
Because I felt like that in my last one. I was just like, cool, I'm just making, you know, and buy. Like it was, so I love that vending machine. It's fair. You put the money in and pops out your product, right? Like that's.
It's sad that people feel that way. That they make you feel that way. And all I can say is maybe it's out of fear. I'm not sure. I can't speak to it because obviously that wasn't our mindset.
Yeah, right.
So it's hard for me to understand why someone would do that.
Totally.
The only thing I would think of in my mind is maybe they're doing it out of fear or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember back then I was friends with numerous surrogates and we would talk about different things. And I remember one surrogate told me, oh, I'm in it for the money. That's all I'm in it for. And I told the agency that up front. So they gave me a couple that, yeah, dead serious. So they gave me a couple that really didn't want that much involvement. And turns out they're still the best of friends,
Oh my
that
God, look at
union,
that.
because the match was so good. Yeah, they're still the best of friends. But she was like, nope, I'm in it for the money. And yep, I'll just give them their baby. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
I couldn't do that, but more power to you. And it didn't
Yeah.
turn out that way. And she went on to have a second for them. And I'm like, oh, look at
Oh,
this.
wow.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. So I don't know how many surrogates are truthful, like in saying what they're doing surrogacy for, because I think if surrogates now go to an agency and say, oh, I'm all about the money. That's it. I'm about the money. Like, I think they're going to be screened a little more difficult than surrogates who go in and say, oh, I want to help create a family. There's a need out there. I want to, the warm and fuzzies. Because if you're just out saying you're out there for the money and you're making that a public statement to an agency,
Yeah, you look
I
bad.
think it's going to be tough. Yeah, right. Tougher to match you, I think.
We definitely would not have picked somebody that had that mentality. That's
Right. Good.
I guess that's why they go through the rigorous matching.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
But yeah, that's not something that we even considered that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were very upfront, you know, when we
Yeah.
met and talked together, before we decided, you know, to
Right.
even
Match.
go
Yeah.
with each when we just had questions answered or whatever when we met.
Yeah.
I remember you telling us exactly why you were going through this process or
Why I was
wanted
going
to go through the process for couples.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, I just have this feeling in me that I want to help
Yes.
other couples that are not able to have children, and specifically the gay community.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because a lesbian couple, they do have two uteruses and maybe one of them can carry. But in a gay couple with men, you don't have a uterus. You can't do it. So who better to help? If I was going to go do this, have my family go through it and me go through it, I absolutely wanted to work with gay couples. And I got to do 3. I did get to do 3. By far, you guys were like above and beyond what I could have ever imagined. And I wish every surrogate the journey that I had with you,
Oh
they
my
get.
gosh. You
I
guys,
wish.
and
I
I said
do.
it before. Your guys' journey definitely shaped my future. Like, not even knowing it at that age, but like knowing that, like, well, this is what I like. I can't even pinpoint it exactly. It's just I loved both of you so much at such a young age, and I loved the idea of what was going on, because I don't think I really fully understood it until I got older and then could be like, oh, okay, this is, this is this and this is why it happened. But it definitely shaped me into something that I wanted to be, for sure.
We evolved into just
awesome.
friends having a baby together. That's what I think we evolved into.
I love that. Like,
Jason, Terry, and Ellen evolved into just friends having a baby together. There you go.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we had our ups and our downs. We had issues we had to deal with and things like that. But at the end of the day, we were all there for the same reason.
Yeah.
We were all there to get healthy babies, whether it be 1, 2, 3, however many the good man upstairs said you were going to get.
Yeah.
We were all there with the same end goal. And I
Absolutely.
think that
any
actually
bumps in the road that we went through were minor, and they were usually like just logistic stuff,
Yeah. So Kennedy brought up something in the back, and then we'll try and wrap it up. I'm sorry, but she said, do you remember where you all were when I called and said, listen, I've been admitted.
Yeah.
They don't think we have long. And I remember Jason specifically saying, do we get on a plane tonight? And I said, I think we're going to be able to hold it off till the morning, but you do what you need to do. It was like in the middle of the week. I mean, people are working, people are like, and I know the time difference was different. And so I was calling when it was like late afternoon and it was like nighttime for you guys. So do you remember getting that call and like what went through your heads?
I remember us getting that call.
Yeah.
And because we had gone through our head, like, tried to picture what it was going to be like when, you go into labor and all that. And since we knew it was going to be a C-section, we just, all of us, including you, thought that, we would be there when the whole process was going on.
Yep.
So, it was a shock. We wanted to make sure that we could get there as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And you did. Given the time difference and stuff, like you timed it perfectly. Like they were all cleaned up and in their little warmers, and I was all stitched up, and you got and the fact that you came to my room first, I'll never forget it.
Ellen, chill. Let him tell a story.
I'm sorry. Go.
Odd.
I forgot where it was, but
when you got the call.
You got the phone call, and like you guys, trying to imagine how it was going to be.
Yeah.
Right. So once we got the call and we knew we just had to get on a flight, Jason was on the phone and on the computer and just trying to book something, ASAP.
Right.
And, making sure we threw stuff in a bag and all that.
So
we didn't know how long we would be there, obviously, and all that. So once we got on the plane, we were in such a rush. I just remember being in such a hurry. So we were very anxious. And so I remember telling the stewardess that we were on our way to welcome our kids, from Surrogate, triplets. Yeah. And I remember her telling the rest of the staff.
Aww.
And I just remember everyone just like being so happy for us. And she gave us champagne, and like throughout the whole flight, she was like, "Can I get you anything?" Just really excited. And I remember some of the passengers saying congratulations and that kind of thing. So
that's so cool.
It definitely took our minds off of any nervousness that we might, because obviously when you're frantic and you're like, I gotta get there. It felt rushed, but I wouldn't change it for the world. So it just was such a great experience getting there. And then obviously once we were there, that hospital was so amazing.
Oh, they were phenomenal.
They took us and cared for us like we never dreamed of. Never dreamed of that. And so they even once we found out that the kids had to learn how to suck, swallow, breathe, and we're going to be there for a while, obviously I wasn't going anywhere. So Jason said, well, I have the capability of doing my work here in California remotely for a while. So once we did that, the hospital was able to link us up with the Ronald McDonald House.
That's awesome. Yeah. Because I know you were in a hotel in the beginning, and that gets pricey. Yeah.
Right. We were in the hotel for 4 or 5 nights.
Wow.
Once we realized, okay, well, we've got to think about this. We got to go somewhere else. And they linked us up with the Ronald McDonald House, and that was the most wonderful experience to be able to share in the parents that were there that had, children that were like terminally ill or, had some really bad issues. Obviously, we didn't have that. And we made sure that we gave back. We would buy food and just put it in the kitchen because it's like an open kitchen for everybody. And we just remember going to the store and just getting all kinds of things just to make sure that people had stuff and didn't have to think about it. And then once we were leaving, they don't necessarily require you to pay for staying there.
Right.
But we gave them a hefty donation.
Very nice.
Because it was such a positive positive experience. And I just remember thinking, thank God that there's something like this for families that really need this.
Yeah.
We could have stayed in a hotel, but there was a reason. I think there was a reason why we were there.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
because obviously we became new parents. So to see other parents have to go through difficulties with their children like that gave us an understanding of how precious, these children are.
Right.
And you can't take it for granted.
No, and to be able to do it as a family, going through whatever you have to go through, and Ronald McDonald House allows you to do that.
Absolutely.
Without any worries. Yeah, this is super awesome. Yep. Well, did we hit on everything you wanted us to hit on? I was going to ask Terry, sorry, if he had any questions for us.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if I wrote down anything.
Because we touched on all mine that I could think of.
Yeah. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
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 Then I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Sure.
We always ask the surrogates that come on here these, but I can change them to you. So if some what is something that you wish someone told you before you got into to the whole surrogacy journey, like as an attendant parent?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry I didn't give you that earlier.
That's okay. It's a difficult one because I don't feel like there was anything negative in the process that would make me feel like, well, I wish someone had told me this.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone could have given me any advice because it was so new.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of people to go to for advice or anything like that. So I think we just had to go and trust the process.
Right.
Yeah.
It is funny when I look at pictures of us in the early days before the babies were born. I look at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how young I was.
Super young.
But I really wasn't young for the process because I was in my 30s.
Right.
And obviously 20-year-olds have their, 20-somethings have their kids. Yeah. And I remember thinking, okay, we're going to be older for these kids, but not too old. Yeah. But I looked at the pictures. I'm like, oh my God, I look like I might be like 15 years old. Right.
Yeah. Because there was a point there where you had like blonde hair. And
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, it's still blonde. There it is. You're funny.
My face is more wrinkled, but
Oh God, we all are. Oh my God, I can't even.
Oh my gosh.
I'm 3 years away from 60, Terry, and I'm not happy about it. I am not.
Well, you don't look it, so I think that's fantastic.
Very sweet. You're very sweet. All right, what's the other question, Ken?
Okay, so if someone were to come to you and say, "Hey, I'm looking to be, to go through this surrogacy process as an intended parent," do you have any advice that you would give to them?
I do.
Okay.
And I think that I would probably have them ask themselves certain questions like, am I really ready for the process? Because it can be a long process. Yeah. And obviously, like I mentioned before, you have to be selfless at that point in your life. Mm-hmm. You have to feel like you've done everything for yourself so that you can put yourself on the back burner and put the children first. Yeah. I think that's incredibly important because if I didn't feel that way during the process, it probably would have taken me down because you have to be committed. If you're not committed to it, you're going to learn the hard way that it's not easy. Right. It's not easy to be a parent, much less a parent of triplets.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So if you're not completely positive you're going to go down that journey, or you need to go down that journey at that point in your life, you need to really think about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good advice.
No, I think that's great advice. I don't know how many intended parents listen, but I do know that there's a couple. So no, that's great advice. Because again, we can't speak to, you're the only, your journey. We've got surrogate babies on here, your children, that give their perspective, on it. And now we have an intended parent giving their perspective on it. And so I just think that it's so nice. It might be a little biased because it's all from like the same journey.
Same family.
No, I think that's good that you're getting family.
I do
to
too. Because I think Jason's going to have not a completely different take, because a lot of the things are going to line up, but he always has a different way of seeing things sometimes than all of us anyway. I mean, I just sometimes if I ask him a question, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those people that puts things in their own box.
Yeah.
And so he pulls from those boxes what needs to be said, or any questions or anything. So he's very detailed that way.
Yeah.
My memory is not as good as it used
none
to
of
be.
ours are. You pulled a lot from that memory. You pulled a lot. I think
he's pretty good for details that maybe I can't remember. Or
you've been a delight. This you've really, from an intended parent's perspective, no, seriously, just the side effect of just getting caught up with you and stuff. It's been lovely to see you, but to get all that perspective from an intended parent's side of it, and then an intended parents with multiples.
Yeah.
20 years ago. I mean, that honestly,
right.
You paved new ground back then, because me carrying them paved ground, and you all being gay parents of triplets paved new ground. It just wasn't done back then.
I forgot to mention, when you were asking about the community, how do we get treated? I do know that we were contacted by one of the talk shows to come on. And we were the local newspaper.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that's maybe how someone saw it, and then the channel through. And then I was contacted for a book deal as well.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't go through the process of those because we really felt like, since it was so early in the process of two gay men, through the surrogacy and egg donor and having 3 kids, we didn't want people outside of our home. We didn't want people looking us up.
That's fair.
We wanted to enjoy the process of where we were at the time, and we didn't want anything taken away from that.
That is fair.
I always said, I'm going to write a book later on.
Right.
Well, and we say that we want to write a book, but I told her, I was like, we should just get on and do a podcast, and we should see where this goes. And then, we can always write a book. We can always put thoughts to paper. Like,
right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
This is here and the now. The books take quite a while. I mean, I have one started. Yeah.
I would read your book though, Terry. I'd read it in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You have
maybe I decide to do that at some point.
So much, but like, it'd be so interesting because like I want to ask you one question that like I constantly like, because my mom had mentioned it a few times as I was growing up, and then I was like, oh, I want to know how that works. What was the Halloween candy thing?
Oh yeah.
I want to know how that game was. It was like they got the Halloween candy, but then like they could like only eat it like
one of the kids explained it, that it was they went trick or treating, right?
I know what you're talking about. Yes. Okay. For Halloween, we decided that we didn't want the kids to just have this Halloween candy for weeks on end.
Right.
Candy wrappers everywhere and what have you. For obvious reasons, you don't want three children, same age, running around with a sugar high every single day.
Right.
So we decided that we would pick one day.
Okay.
And it usually was Jason came up with the idea of a breakfast.
Okay. Right. That's what they said.
So the idea was, let them eat as much of their candy as they could and make it fun for it being not a snack or later on in the day, but be breakfast.
Okay.
And so they had a period of time that they could sit there and eat as much candy as they wanted. And then whatever was left would later get donated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's an ingenious idea. It really is. It really
and we
is.
also had another tradition.
Okay.
And this came from Jason's aunt. We would, for many years, we spent New Year's Eve with them. Okay. And they were able to have dessert. Basically, the dinner would be reversed. they would have dessert
Dessert
first.
First. Oh, cute.
Mhm.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Did they ever
so
eat
that-
any of the dinner, considering they had the dessert first? Did they ever get to the dinner part?
sure that they did not.
Right.
That's
But it was just something fun for them.
Yeah.
And we did that for several New Year's Eves, and it was nice. It was good.
Yeah.
Not only that, if you think about it, they get the sugar earlier,
right. So
then they
crash.
calm down earlier.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
they
makes
do.
sense. Makes a
Got to
lot of
give that
sense.
woman, whoever decided that one, give her a little button for
Yeah.
That was
kudos
his,
to her.
That was his Aunt Lisa. Yeah, she
remember Aunt Lisa.
she thought about that.
Oh, super fun.
That
Oh
was
my
fun.
God.
Oh my gosh.
And
Well,
I think
this is-
she got that idea kind of from the candy thing,
Oh, okay.
Candy.
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe she knew of someone else that did it. I'm not sure.
That's
Or
a
maybe
great
she
idea.
did want the kids to have their sugar high early, since we were all staying in the same home.
Oh my God. That's for sure. How funny.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot tell you what a delight this has been.
I
Thank
know.
you so much.
Well,
for
thank
coming
you.
on
I've
here.
enjoyed it. This has
We
been
have
great.
too. I loved it. I know it took a lot of your time, but I appreciate it. that
2
you-
hours.
Was
Oh,
it two? Oh, geez. Sorry.
I know. I'm so
It's-
sorry.
I
Oh,
love
well.
that. I love California. So
Yeah.
I
Oh my
know.
God. Yeah, you guys were out here not too long ago for a vacation, right? Like last year or did you go to San
it
Diego?
we were in San Diego.
Yeah.
I live by there.
A friend of mine moved from North Carolina. She's from San Francisco,
Okay.
but she lived here for maybe 6-7 years, and then moved back to instead of San Francisco, she moved to San Diego.
Okay.
So
So you
we
met
were
up.
like, oh, we got to visit. Yeah,
Nice. Very nice.
it was
Well,
nice.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
My
We have 2 more
gosh.
in the family we have to get on here, and we have them tentatively scheduled. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you-
Well, if in the future you need another podcast guest for maybe something else,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
awesome.
open.
Absolutely.
Thank you, good sir.
Take
I
my
know.
brain.
Say hi to Greg for us and give Scooter a little patsy and a hug.
I will do that. He's laying on the floor next to me
Is he?
sleeping.
So cute. Isn't
Oh.
today the 3rd year anniversary of getting him, or is it 4?
Yes,
It's
he's
3rd.
a little over 4 years old, but
Uh-huh.
I got him after he was a year and a few months old. So
Yeah.
today is 3 years exactly.
3 years. Aw.
Yeah,
Sweet puppy.
Yay.
it's a pleasure.
That's right. So cute.
Gosh.
Well, again, thank you so much. Hugs,
Seriously,
hugs,
You're
love,
thank
love.
you.
You take
Love
care.
you guys too.
Yeah.
And,
Bye, honey.
good luck with your podcast. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're having fun with it.
Yeah. This is fun. This has been really
is
like a
fun.
treat. Like honestly, like I feel
Yeah,
I feel
having-
honored.
just to
Well, I
hear
was
the
very
different.
excited about it. So I'm
Perspective.
glad
Yay. I'm
it
glad we
was
made it
everything
work.
more of what I thought it was going to be. So it's good.
Oh, yay!
Yay.
Thanks, sweetie. Take
Thank
care of
you.
yourself.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Well, that was lovely.
Oh my god. I love him so much. We can't do this really long because it's already been 2 hours.
Yeah, we're
So,
done.
like,
Okay.
But like, yeah, no, I love him, and that was
Yeah.
like the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah, he just that's how I remember him during the whole journey. Like he was just ever so thoughtful, ever so caring, ever so wanting to help. And you know, as a pregnant woman, sometimes people wanting to over help you, you just get a little like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, you want people away from you.
No, but he does it in
Yeah.
such a genuine way,
right,
with like
right.
such a soft touch to it that
Yeah.
he's like, no, like
And
I'm
he's-
literally here to help you. Like,
Yeah,
don't,
and he's
like
He's
nothing.
got to be one of the greatest parent role models that there is. Jason as well. But
yeah. Well,
I
hell,
just-
look at their kids.
yeah, I know.
Like
That's
their
the true
kids speak
testament.
volumes of them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
my gosh.
everyone. So thanks so much for listening. Hope it wasn't too long for all of you.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, so if you guys, if anybody would like to share their story, please reach out to me at Surrogate Mother on Instagram, SURROG, the number 8 mother. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up real quick because we know that we've taken like 2.5 hours of your guys' time.
So it's been Stop, Sit, Surrogate with Kennedy and Ellen. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link to our YouTube channel in the description. And be sure to also check out our children's book, My Mom Has Superpowers, sold on Amazon and Etsy.